South Africa has powerful banks. Our banks are strong. They are modern. They make billions of rand every year. They use world-class technology. On paper, everything looks impressive. The buildings are tall. The apps are advanced. The reports are polished. It looks like we have built a world-class financial system. But let me ask you something. If our banks are so strong, why are so many of our people still struggling? Why does a small business owner feel afraid to walk into a bank? Why does a young graduate feel invisible inside the financial system? Why does a rural farmer feel unsupported when trying to grow? These are not emotional questions. They are structural questions. Because banking must not only protect money, it must protect hope. Right now, many South Africans experience banking as a gate. You apply, you wait, you are assessed, you are approved, or you are declined. And when you are declined, that is the end of the conversation. No guidance, no roadmap, no development. Just one word: no. But a nation cannot grow on no. A nation grows on not yet. Here is how. Too many entrepreneurs are rejected because they do not have collateral. Too many are rejected because they operate informally. Too many are rejected because they do not have a long credit history. But think about this. How do you build credit history if no one gives you a chance? How do you formalize if the system does not help you enter? Banks must move from asking, "Do you qualify?" to asking, "How do we help you qualify?" That shift alone can change lives. Imagine if every major bank had a developmental unit. Not just a loan department, a real development team. A team that helps small businesses structure themselves properly. A team that teaches financial discipline. A team that gives small funding first, then increases support as the business proves itself. Instead of one big risk, build many small successes. When you build people before you fund them, you reduce risk. And when you reduce risk, everyone wins. Now let's talk about townships. Let's talk about villages. Let's talk about taxi ranks and informal markets. South Africa's real economy does not only live in glass buildings. It lives in small shops, in backyard mechanics, in street food stalls, in container salons. These are not small dreams. They are big dreams in small spaces. But many of these businesses operate in cash because they do not feel welcomed by the banking system. Sometimes banking feels too expensive. Sometimes it feels too complicated. Sometimes it feels too far away. Banks must go where the people are. Create township business desks. Create rural farmer support desks. Send mobile banking units into deep rural communities. Host workshops in local languages. Teach people how to register properly. Teach them how to keep simple records. Teach them how to grow. When township businesses are formalized, they grow. When they grow, they hire. When they hire, youth unemployment drops. When youth unemployment drops, crime reduces. This is not charity. This is strategy. Now let us talk about something that frustrates many people. Credit scores. Many South Africans do not understand how credit scoring works. They apply for a loan. They are declined. But no one clearly explains why. Rejection without explanation creates anger. Rejection with guidance creates growth. Banks must make credit scoring transparent. If someone is declined, the system should say, "This is what affected your score. This is how you can improve it. This is how long it may take." Show people a path. Give them tools. Because an informed customer is not a dangerous customer. An informed customer is a stable customer. Now let's talk about bank fees. For some people, bank charges are small. But for millions of South Africans, those fees matter. Every rand matters. Monthly account fees, withdrawal fees, transaction fees, penalty fees. Banking should not feel like a punishment for being poor. Introduce capped low-income accounts. Offer zero-fee student accounts. Give free starter accounts to new small businesses for their first year. Make fee structures simple and clear. When people trust the system, they stay in the system. And when they stay in the system, the economy grows. Now let us focus on the youth. Young South Africans are hungry for opportunity. But many are only taught how to earn money, not how to grow money. Saving is important, but ownership is powerful. Banks should create simple investment platforms. Allow people to invest from as little as 100 rand. Teach what shares are. Teach how dividends work. Teach long-term wealth building. When young people become investors, something changes. They start thinking long-term. They start thinking about building, not just surviving. And when young people think long-term, the nation becomes stable. Now let us speak about responsibility. Banks make billions every year. That shows strength. But strength must serve society. Banks should publish simple impact reports. Reports that show how many small businesses were funded, how many township businesses survived, how many youth were supported, how many jobs were created. Because banking is not separate from society, it shapes society. This conversation is not about attacking banks. It is about inviting them to lead. If banks move from profit only to partnership with people, everything changes. Small businesses grow. Youth unemployment drops. Communities become stronger. Hope becomes visible. Banking must not only protect money, it must protect dreams. And when dreams are protected, nations rise. If this message spoke to you, comment below. Share your experience. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe if you believe South Africa needs real national solutions. Not noise, not blame, but structure. Because change does not begin in Parliament. It begins in conversation. And conversations shape nations. I'll see you in the next episode.